I can't figure out how to bring my stitch back, and so then I just rip it all up and I stuff it in a bin and I just say, stay there. I don't want to talk to you no more. Hello and Happy New Year! I released a video on January 1st, but I haven't recorded one since then. So this is my first video in the new year of 2024. It really looks a lot like 2023, I'm gonna be honest. There's not a huge difference. But I wanted to go over some things that I have intentions of doing this year. I'm not gonna call them goals because that means that I might try to reach them. And I don't know if that's really going to happen. So we're going to call them intentions because I intend to try these things. I may intentionally not do them or unintentionally not accomplish them. It could really go either way, but I am going to try to do these things. I've written them down. I can go back and see what I said I would intend to do, because usually I just say it out loud and I forget, because that way I have an excuse that I didn't do it because I already forgot what it was. Now it's written down so I can reference. That's kind of irritating. I don't like to be checked. I figure this is a check of myself. I don't always like to do that because I don't like to be wrong, and this kind of can make me look very wrong. All right, let's get into my intentions for the year. Number 1, cut down on yarn purchases. On January 3rd, I bought $90 worth of Premier Parfait Chunky. So far, that intention is not going well, but I still have 11 and a half months to work on that intention, because I really do want to not buy so much because I have a lot in here and I need to use it, but I really wanted to try this kind of Parfait Chunky. I'll show you when it gets here. Just know that intention's kind of already busted. It is what it is. Number 2, instead of buying new patterns, try to modify or create my own. I have a tendency to buy a lot of patterns on Etsy and never do them. In my defense, I do buy a lot of them to support the designers because they need me. They need me there to help them grow and flourish, and I am there for it. Plus, I like to spend money occasionally. Every now and then, I just like to gift myself something special, and patterns really do make my heart happy. And it's usually under $5, and who can argue with that, right? But I need to start to use the ones that I have or modify them to what I want them to be. I can do that, and I have the knowledge to do it. It's just a matter of doing it because I might be just a tinge, just lazy, just like this much. I need to maybe start to try to put in that effort. That's a intention. It might be intentionally ignored though. Just saying. Number 3, make more of an effort on Instagram. I've yet to even post this year, I think. It is a love-hate relationship with Instagram, and it's only because I don't like all the options that are provided to me on Instagram. I cannot make decisions well at all. That is why I have a husband. He can make a decision a whole lot better than I can make a decision. He just says no, and I go, okay, decision made. But on Instagram, it's like, well, do you want to make a reel? Do you want to post? Do you want to do a story? What do you want to do? What color would you like? Would you like this color? Do you want it to have sound and bling? Do you want to add a sticker? Do you want to add a gift? Too many options. It's just too much. I'm just overwhelmed. So I don't always know what to do. And so I don't. That is why there's not a lot of stuff there, but I need to get over that. I need to do it. That's a mountain to climb. I don't know if I have the right shoes. Number 4, use up my DK yarn. I don't like DK yarn a whole lot, and the reason I don't is because it's hard for me to pull tight enough for amigurumi. It's great for blankets, and that's actually why I have so much, is I used to do a lot of the Attic 24 granny stripe blankets, and I have attempted granny squares and thought I was going to attempt suicide at the end of that. So I have the yarn to create those things. I don't want to make blankets with DK yarn anymore. I'm over that. I just don't. but I can double up the yarn and I can use it for my amigurumi, and it'll be great for that. And I need to use up what I have before I start buying more. Easier said than done, especially because I already purchased on January 3rd. I want to use it up, and it's in these bins back here. It's really only like 4 bins, though these are 16 by 16 inches. It could happen. It really could. Probably not this year, but I'm gonna get it smaller. I'm gonna whittle those bins down. That's a goal. So I can put the new yarn I just bought in those. Number 5, attempt to make 1 video and 1 reel a week. This is going back to the whole Instagram stuff. YouTube is a totally different beast. I know what I'm gonna do on YouTube. That's a whole lot easier. It's easier to post. It's easier to do everything with YouTube. Editing my videos is more time consuming. I use a fairly complex video editing program, but I love to do it and I enjoy that aspect. Reels take almost as long as a video, at least the way I do them, because I'm slow as molasses at doing that stuff. And people are always talking to me. It's as bad as when I'm counting stitches in a chain that they are talking to me while I'm making a reel. They are needing me to find their shoes while I am making a reel. Every time, I'm telling you, I'm going to try to do a better job. 1 video a week, 1 reel a week. There will be some weeks that there'll be 2 videos a week because maybe I couldn't get one put out the previous week because of the people I live with. I am in the Oreo generation where I'm caring for a parent and my children, and then with my husband gone, there are some things that are just out of my control and I just can't fit a video in like I would like to. It's not always the videoing that takes so long, it's the editing. The editing takes me 2.5 days to get done. So I have to allot myself that time, and when I'm having to do the things for those other people that I live with, it's hard. I'm going to try to carve out the time and create a better schedule so I can be more diligent at getting a schedule down. Number 6, I got this idea from my friend Sonnet. I thought it was a really great idea, and it's something I kind of mentioned in another video because I'd said, how am I going to make all the things I want to make before I die? And there's one designer that I love just about everything she puts out, and I really want to make all of her stuff. And that is Jan Schenkel. And this is Pica Pau 3, and this book has some of my favorite patterns in it. I've already made 2 patterns out of this book. I've made Cosmo, and I have made a wiener dog for my daughter's art teacher. She loves wiener dogs, and so I made it look kind of like a Picasso in the patterns. And here are really some of my favorites that she's done. And some of them I know would be really fast. They're not complex at all. And some will be a little bit more tedious. I'm dying to do the chicken in here. There's 18 to go. We will see if I can get this one done. This is one I'm looking forward to though. Number 7, I would like to make 2 blankets this year. Now I know I just said I don't like making blankets with DK yarn. That is true. I prefer a heavier blanket because it seems like the older I get, I like weight on me. The blankets I make, I really don't want anybody to touch. They're just for me, so I can make them out of whatever I want to, because I put too much time and effort for somebody to just not appreciate my blankets. You know who's going to appreciate my blankets the most? Me. I know I'm not alone in thinking that sometimes you give to people things and they don't appreciate it, or they don't know what it takes to make those pieces. I already have a lot of pieces for my mix and match blanket made, and I'm actually going to end up making 2. I've changed my color palettes a little bit because the rainbow was looking a little bit whack. So I've tamed it down some. I have enough pieces to start working on another blanket. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 mix and match blankets. That'll be a fun goal because those I can work on in between other projects. Number 8. This one's a big one. And this one has been on my intention list for many years, and I intend every January until about mid-February, and then I'm like, you know, you can take that intention and stick it where the sun don't shine. That happens usually every February because my intention with this one has just hit its breaking point, and that intention is to learn to knit. I have invested in things to make this intention possibly work. I have put money behind my words. Now I just need to add action to that. And I bought the Vogue Knitting book, and this sucker's big. There's a lot of words in here. Lots of little words, lots of little diagrams and pictures. And let's hope that I don't get exhausted from trying to focus on the little words and pictures and scared, because I am. I'm scared because knitting looks so neat and like therapeutic, kind of like crochet, but it's a whole different beast because I've done it. I can do the garter stitch, I can do the knit stitch, stockinette, I can do that. I can cast on, I can cast off. The problem that I run into though is dropping stitches. And like I said, I'm a perfectionist. And so when I drop the stitch, trying to read knitting stitches, it's very different, and I can't figure out how to bring my stitch back. And so then I just rip it all up and I stuff it in a bin and I just say, stay there. I don't want to talk to you no more. This year I'm going to try again because I also invested in this. This is the ChiaoGoo interchangeable needle set. These ain't cheap. So I've invested some money into this. And when I invest money into things, I try to use those things. So I really need to try to use these things. Wish me luck. I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of Snoop during this process. We will talk about it, I'm sure. If you have tips for me, please put them down below. I already follow a ton of knitting channels, and that's part of the problem. It seems like every January, YouTube pushes knitting at me like that's the only thing I enjoy doing, but I don't know how to do it. I do enjoy it when it works. When it doesn't, I don't enjoy it. You know, I blame YouTube. It's YouTube's fault. They pushed this on me. Number 9, I'm going to try to write down what I do. I don't write down anything that I do. I don't take notes. I don't write down hook size. I don't write yarn color. I don't write none of it. Nothing. And I kind of need to start doing that because I have found that sometimes I would really like to know what I did on something when I want to replicate it, and I didn't do that. And when I make it again, it doesn't look anything like the first time. So maybe taking notes occasionally would help me. That's sad that I have to write a goal to write what I do. Is that sad? It might be. And my last goal is to grow my channel to 5,000 subscribers. And for those of you who have been here on my channel for a while, oh my goodness, thank y'all. Every time I post a video, people drop off and I always wonder, what did I do? Wait, why? Why are you going? And I can only imagine it is because I might have an inappropriate sense of humor at times, and that's okay. They need to probably move on because that's not changing. It's not going anywhere. I do think like a 12-year-old at times. But thank you for being here, and we will see how far I get on these intentions this year. And again, don't have high hopes. Let's just be average and see if we can come up just like a hair and the intentions. I already know I have not done well at three of these. 3 of these is not looking good. There's 7 others we can improve on. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I look forward to an exciting 2024 with you. If you have tips for the knitting stuff, down here, just write it. Write me something. Tips, tricks, something. Support. A good wine that you enjoy while you do it. More shows. Murder. Talk to me down here. I need help getting through this obstacle. So I'll see you next time. Bye.